on Sunday night, Sunday evening, I just woke up. Very changes Sunday night before I fall into labor. I try to take it usually me falling into labor. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about pre-cesarean section. That is, how I was able to prepare myself mentally for the cesarean section. How I was able to prepare myself physically, financially. If you watch my previous video, you will hear where I mentioned that my mind was prepared for a vaginal delivery because I had a vaginal delivery for my first child and there were no complications that would indicate a cesarean section. But then, because of Nigerian doctor, or let me say the private doctor that I went to, he preferred to stay safe and do a cesarean section. So, how was my own acceptance of the cesarean section? As at 35 weeks when I said it was clear that I was going to be a cesarean section, I did a little bit of information. I had to make research. Now, you know when your mind is prepared for something, you'll make research earlier. Let's say as at 20 weeks, I knew I was going to do a cesarean section, and I've done a lot of research. I'm someone that likes to go in prepared. I don't like being met unaware. So I try to make research. Even when I'm at the clinic and I'm about to be given some drugs, I make some researches. So I like to be aware of what I'm going into. So there was not enough time to make a lot of research. I wouldn't like to hear about that. So I joined a twin community while I was pregnant. Twins and multiples on Instagram. Hello, if you are part of that team here. I had to send a message anonymously to gather courage from my fellow mothers that had gone through the same situation. In the comment section, I actually had a lot of people encouraging me to go for a vaginal delivery. That is possible, but then some persons actually are of the opinion, or were of the opinion that it depends on my gynae, and that would determine if my gynae is open to having a motive. So in short, what I noticed that some they are more experienced than one another, or let me say each other. So for some, they are comfortable to take a vaginal delivery of multiples, especially if they are not there's the leading twin is not breech. Yes. So my leading twin was not breech. It was head down, a position for that it was ready for a vaginal delivery. So basically there were no reasons for me to actually do a CS. Do you get? The baby was not breech. Their weights were okay. They were closely around the same weight. When I gave birth to them, they were 2.8 and 2.9 to 3 kg, both of them. So they were not underweight. There were no indications for cesarean section. So I had to prepare myself. Going through that, my sisters were very helpful. I'll call them, my worries. But for like 48 hours, for some days while I was going through those process, I could not actually even call my sister because my head was just crowded. Okay, now, is it at 35 weeks that I'm not preparing myself mentally for cesarean section? The guy in question even want to rush me to do the cesarean section so that he said he was going on leave by September. So he's trying to urge me to do the cesarean section by August. I'm like, calm down. Even if I'm going to do the cesarean section, it should be me picking my dates, not to just rushing into it. I have to be mentally prepared to it. But I guess he thought I don't know what I was doing. I saw I went to clinic some days ago and I saw him and I'm sure he was just looking at me like, you this lady. Like, I'm sorry, guy. There was no urgency. Why are you trying to favor you? That is not right. You should actually consider the emotions and psychology of your patient and not just yourself. That's just being selfish. Now back to the gist. So I had to prepare myself mentally, my sisters. So I have a sister that actually had cesarean section 3 times. She has 3 beautiful daughters, and I spoke to her. In fact, I told her to show me her scar, her CS scar. I told her to tell me what to expect, how my recovery will be. And she had one experience in Nigeria and 2 experiences over there. And I experienced in Nigeria, maybe it's even putting a little bit of fear in me. She was bleeding after, I think she was being sewn twice, and she was bleeding. We were really praying because we cannot afford to lose our sister. Thank God for delivery. And so I had to ask all those questions just to prepare myself mentally for it. Okay, this is what I'm going to, this is what I should expect. And about the injection, I would take an anesthesia. Those questions I asked my sister, open to answer those questions. And shout out to Ayoluwa to Pastor AY was also available. I actually spoke with him too like I'm confused. I didn't even know what to do. And these people actually guide me all the way. To shout out to Pastor AY, shout out to my sisters, my elder sister, Mrs. Oluwabumi, and my other sister, Mrs. Oluwasheyi. I know, I try to calculate. Those are my son's name actually. Oluwabumi and Oluwasheyi. Apart from the fact that their names are actually God given, like they are God's gifts, and um God actually did it. That's the meaning of their names. These two sisters, I'm honored to actually name my sons after them. They are the best sisters I could actually have asked for. And so they actually were there for me. I would not lie. They held my hand through it. And of course, shout out to my husband, because the husband was there, even my nagging through, like, oh, this, I'm not sure I want to do this, I'm even scared, and that was available to work me through too. So I really appreciate these people in my circle, and I want to say I love you guys. And to my mom was worried at a point. I was asking, are you sure you're okay? She'll call me at a call. She's here at my house because she stays in Lagos too. She come to my place, anything I needed, she was always assisting with it, and that. So guys, mentally, I had people around me that had to prepare me, and thankfully I had a sister that had gone through it 3 times, one in Nigeria. So we have been encouraged right from our younger age to always ask questions. So my sister said, ask question. You always told me that ask question when you're not clear. Let them let you understand the process you are going through. So I had to mentally prepare myself for the cesarean section. As I said, the doctor was trying to book me earlier, so he wants to do the cesarean section before going on leave. I was like, if you go on leave, there'll be somebody else to do it, right? Why are you hurrying me up? I tried to clear that one too, because I need enough time to prepare myself mentally for this thing. This is a major surgery, actually. I'm going to cut my abdomen open to bring out two beautiful babies. Please. You don't have to rush me into it. So I told him, and another thing was, my due date is actually September. Should have been September 15 or around that time. But because it's multiple, I know I can't wait till that long. But they were Didi, fraternal twins. And according to research, I know I could give birth to them as late as 38 weeks. And the longer the babies actually stay in your womb, the better for them. I even asked the doctor, and he shot himself on the knee by telling me, because the question I asked him was, what are the pros to a early CCR section? That is why I want to have them August ending. And he said, well, if they don't have jaundice, you can go on time. So you know there's risk of jaundice if they come out early. So why are you trying to rush me into it? So I'm thankful for my sisters. They encouraged me to just fashion the doctor. Sorry for that word. Bone the doctor. Sorry for that word again. Just overlook the doctor's attitude and just pray that what I think is the best, and God is preparing the better best for you on your delivery date. So I just zeroed my mind that even if it's going to be a cesarean session that I'm going to do eventually, I should not be rushing to it. It's an elective cesarean section. It's not an emergency cesarean section. So we set a date, and the hospital has a particular day, Wednesdays, for their cesarean section. So we set a date for that. That okay, I'll do it. That should have been September. I've forgotten the date. First week in September actually. So, but I knew deep down that I was going to fall into labor before then. So I'd asked them questions at the clinic also that, okay, how does the emergency CS looks like? And the guy answered me. That was the other guy. I had about 3 guys attending to me. One was more actually accommodating the question. So I asked that one a lot of questions. So he told me that the only difference is just that emergency, that means you have to do it sharp, sharp, sharp. So, elective, you have been admitted since morning, a day before, then they'll do it in the morning. That's just the difference. So I have read my mind on what to expect. I know you won't eat for a cesarean section. So to cut the long story short, on Sunday night, Sunday evening, I just woke up. I actually made chin chin. I made the best chin chin actually in the whole world. I made chin chin Sunday night before I fall into labor. I actually think it gingered me falling into labor. I expected that I would fall into labor before then. I was in the clinic Sunday morning to run some tests. That's pre cesarean section test. There's some tests I had to run. I was even thinking I would fall into labor right there, so we will do what we need to do. But I came home. I was a little bit still worried, but then I'd cast my care upon Jesus. I carried plate of chin chin. Someone wanted to order chin chin. Book me. My friend wanted chin chin, and Grace also wanted a paint of chin chin. Bukume also wanted chin chin all the way from UK. And because I like business and money is needed, I just carried my bag and my paint. My mom was already around. I measured the chin chin. I made the chin chin, and I was to go and sleep. That was around into the midnight. I slept, and I kept noticing that this bed is wet. What's happening? My pants is wet. I started perceiving it. Now the thing is that was new to me because during my first vaginal delivery, that's my first child, I did not my water did not break at home. Yes, I was just having other symptoms apart from water breaking. So it was strange to me knowing that my water has broken, or what should we call it now, at home. So I noticed, I tested, and I carried my sister along. She told me that that's probably your water that has broken. Just go to the clinic. And that day, September 4th, was my son's resumption date into toddler. So he has been in crèche class all the while. So he was returning to the toddler class that Monday. So I just we dressed him up, and I had only said I had wanted to be home when he's going to resume toddler, like to dress him up for his first day as a toddler student now. And God answered that prayer too. We dressed him up, and myself, my husband drove the car. We went to drop my son at his school that morning. I was already in active labor. We went to drop him in school that morning, and then we went to the hospital. So when we got to the clinic, I was checked in, and once the edge was multiple, the first question was, were you booked for a cesarean section? Anyways, my next statement for you now is watch out for my cesarean section experience at the clinic. Thank you guys, and I'm begging you again, please subscribe so you can watch my next videos. Bye.